Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Going live. Hi, Charlene, to say hello to all of you beautiful people out there. Thank you for joining us for our holiday special webinar. We've had so much fun with all of the surprise different things we put out there every single day. So we hope you've enjoyed the options we've brought to you and the savings as well.
Yeah, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and are preparing for Christmas. This is our favorite time of year. So, over the last couple of weeks, we've had our 12 Days of Christmas special. So we wanted to, talk about some of those and find out what you're doing, what you're planning for Christmas, and just kind of hang out today. So, we're really looking forward to another webinar with all of our people that are out there following us. So thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. And we just came this weekend, our gala. We have an annual gala. So based on the people out there that have chosen to support us by buying the products that we have, we're able to give some of that money to charities that are doing great things like Cancer Crackdown, right? And Healing Strong and some animal charities. Jeffrey Smith, if you've, I think most of our followers know Jeffrey Smith. He's the guru of GMOs. He's fighting the good fight with us, and we just love him. But we gave money, and we do it in style because we feel like the reason to roll out the red carpet and really celebrate people are the world changers and lifesavers and heroes. So we get to really get all dressed up and celebrate life together. Wasn't that fun, honey?
Yeah, we always look forward to the gala here in Nashville. It's a ceremony where we give to charities. This year we gave to 7 different charities. 5 of them were people cancer charities, right? And 2 of them were animal charities, because that was one of the things that we wanted to support through the launch of the Truth About Pet Cancer, was the charities that are helping animals. So we actually gave to 7 charities, and then we also gave 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards. And one of them was to Michael Terrell, who has spent his life dealing with healing frequencies and whole tones.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 were to Frank Cousino and Lorraine Rosenthal. You may not be familiar with them, but you're probably familiar with the Cancer Control Society. And the CCS, Cancer Control Society, has been doing cancer conferences in California for over 40 years. I think they're 45 years running now that they've had a conference there. And they were the forerunners in bringing awareness to the Mexican cancer clinics. They've been giving tours for over 3 decades. They take people down from San Diego across the border into Tijuana and actually give them tours of the cancer clinics down there. And so they've just done a great service. And one of the things that I said at the gala last week was that many people don't realize it. But, if you point back to 2 or 3 generations back in your lineage, not technically speaking, but just euphemistically speaking, in the cancer industry, it goes back to Cancer Control Society. You may not know who they are, but they did something that influenced somebody that influenced you. And that is one of the reasons that you're holding your conference now, or that one of the reasons that you've got your books now. They really were the forerunners in this field. That I'd have to say that G. Edward Griffin, with his book World Without Cancer back in the 70s, and then the Cancer Control Society, probably 99% of the people out there that have heard about natural cancer treatments in one aspect or another can say thank you to the Cancer Control Society. So we were really happy to give them awards.
And they're the sweetest people, really. I loved hearing their acceptance speeches and the reason that they do what they do. And Frank, first of all, thanked his mother. I really appreciated that, attributing a lot of the good things that come through him to his mother, and really ultimately to God. So that was really encouraging to hear what they had to say and their mindset and their humility. But also, honey, I think I enjoyed being with the team, our team members. Scott, our marketing manager, and Sharon. We had Peter, our tech, and Tracy, Carl. It was fun to see them in person. And Ray, we missed you. I know you're at this webinar. We missed you. Caitlin, you were there. And I'm trying to remember all of our team members, customer service, Caitlin. And
we had over 20 of our team members that were there.
We got Des on the stage with us. That was fun. And y'all are going to see the pictures. But yeah, it was nice to celebrate our team that really helps us, because we couldn't do all of this work by ourselves and reach the world with just us. It would be near impossible, I think. So our team really helps us to support us through this webinar jam to reach you, and the marketing efforts to reach the world. So it's I see Paul's in the house.
Paul
we have
Baratiero.
a special guest. A few minutes early, we were expecting Paul to join us. I don't see his picture, but in about 5 minutes, some of the products that we have offered to you at discounted rates, 2 of them specifically have they're Paul Bartiero's products at Synergy Science, and we're pretty excited. We did another webinar previous to this one with Paul, talking to him about his echo frequency machine. And so if you were there at that webinar, we were going to follow that up with another webinar just on the water machine. We haven't done that yet, but we wanted to do a mini session with Paul to talk about the beneficial things that frequency does, and the hydrogen, the molecular hydrogen infused in that water, and the amazing benefits you can get in your body, and different things that it just seems to make better. We were created to be infused with the molecular hydrogen. So
yes, Paul, are you on? No, we don't see you, but it looks like you joined.
Yeah, I can come in.
Okay, we don't see your image. There you go.
Is.
All right, there's his mug.
Hey, Paul. So yeah, we were just talking about you, and I don't know if you heard us there, but your molecular hydrogen frequency machine, and also look what I have.
Ooh,
you recognize that?
I do.
I love it, Paul. I bring this everywhere. Do you want to tell our viewers what this is?
Absolutely. So that is the Key Me, and it is a personal device that will protect you from radiation, the effects of radiation, from cellular all the way up to 5G, from the Wi-Fi in your home, and all other types of radiation. So it is something you can take with you in the car, in your purse, on the plane, basically everywhere you go. Put it in a pocket, put it in a jacket, whatever you want to do. It really protects you. And the most amazing things is we're going to be doing a study here showing the effects that it protects you against. Normally when people have radiation from Wi-Fi or what have you, it increases the cellular temperature on cells in the body, and it causes the brain to go into a stressful situation. And so when you have that Key Me on your person, those effects do not happen. So it's amazing.
It is amazing. We've got the big one in our house too to protect us. So basically, if you don't already know out there, and I think that you should, but the Wi-Fi is so damaging. I know, Ty, honey, you've been to New York City filming or doing different things, and when he's in the city, we live in the country, so I mean, we have TurtleNet. We don't have a lot of Wi-Fi going through. Some, no, we do have some, enough to where we're thankful for your machine, Paul. We all, no matter how little we think we're getting a lot. But in the city, it's a whole lot more. And so when I came back from the city, he was just discombobulated and just anxiousness out of nowhere. Just felt terrible and unsettled and unbalanced. And he knew that it was from the Wi-Fi, because in New York City, there's just so much of it. Everybody's got their computers and their cellular phones, and the Wi-Fi is just thick, and people are just getting sick. They're feeling worn down. They don't realize why. And we want our home to be the safest environment. And we're just so grateful for you bringing us this technology to put into our homes, and to know that our children can have fun and live and not have to worry about their health with this machine in our house. And then when we leave, I'm telling you, Paul, this goes with me everywhere I go. I love this guy. He's my BFF. I can't go without him, so that I know I'm protected, and I keep my children close by my side. We're protected with this thing. And 5G is coming. What are we going to do? We're going to, we got to get this for our families. We love our children, and we want them to be healthy and strong and vibrant, and we want them to feel good. And as Ty experienced, getting in high Wi-Fi areas, you don't feel good.
No.
And Paul, could you address the fact that it's not just the Wi-Fi? Talk about the appliances, the EMRs that are emitted by typical household appliances, and then talk about the technology that differentiates this from other things that are out there on the market, because I think that's fascinating as well.
Yeah, it is. And So everything in your home, what if it has a motor, whether it's a fan motor or it's even your beds that go up and down, you would be surprised how many EMFs and ELFs are produced by any motor that's in your home. Even things like mixers, you know, the Vitamix, that's like 20 milligauss. But the reality is, if we protect ourselves from those things, then that's what we need to do. We're never going to do away with internet. We're never going to do away with Wi-Fi or cellular. It's just not realistic. And it seems as though they want to make it more and more and more, not less and less and less. So all we can do is protect ourselves. And the way this works is very different than anything else in the world. All the other products emit waves that counteract the Wi-Fi waves or the cellular waves or what have you. That's not at all how this one works. This one produces two things. It produces electrons, and that's what makes up what we call a negative ion. When we talk about negative ions are very beneficial to us. Well, electrons are what makes up a negative ion. You just have one more electron than you do a proton, and so you have a negative ion is what they call it. But electrons are the components that make it up. So what the key technology is doing is releasing the negative ions or the electrons into your environment that gets onto your skin and makes like a suit, a protective suit around you of electrons. And so normally when the radiation comes to your body, it goes inside your body and reacts with the cells of your body and increases the heat of your cells so that it doesn't function efficiently. We have done studies showing that even with a cell phone up to the person's head, it will not increase temperature on the cells when they have the key technology. So those electrons are making all the difference in the world. And then we have studies showing that even having it in your home can restructure the water, the plants, everything that's in the home, any living thing, and including water and what have you. It changes all of that. So it is really an amazing technology. One of my dearest friends, had a dream when he was 14, 15 years old and was taught in this dream how to make this device. He had the same issues, Charlene, you were just talking about with Ty. He was in the mountains north of Germany where he's at, and he had no Wi-Fi, no cellular, nothing. And he was there for a few months just in the land and doing his thing. And it's when he came back into civilization, into the cities, that he felt horrible because his body wasn't used to being inundated. And so he had to create something to protect himself. And as he did that, now we have the benefit. Everyone on this earth has the benefit. So it's an amazing technology.
That's awesome, Paul. And while you were discussing and telling us, explaining the benefits, we had Tamara, I think was her name. They broadcast a comment. She said that she actually just purchased one of the Echo machines, and she said thank you. So thanks, Tamara, for that comment and supporting us in that way, and also for benefiting your health through that. We have two of those machines, one in our kitchen and another in our pool house, and we really are grateful for it, knowing that we have high quality water that is helping our bodies to be strong. And we also have another question here. Maybe, Paul, you can address this, and Ty, you as well. Lorraine says, please explain what 5G is.
Gosh. Well, you have 2G, 3G, 4G. Now we're going to, we had 1G way back in the day, right? If you can remember that. But now we have 5G. So 5G,
Paul, it's basically 5G is just short. 5G is short for fifth generation. So 5G,
yeah, exactly.
Fifth generation wireless technology.
Yeah.
And as wireless technology gets more powerful and faster, it becomes more harmful for our bodies. There's always this flip side of the coin. So with the benefit of being able to download a movie in 10 seconds instead of 3 hours, then the waves are stronger. They're more detrimental to our body. So fifth generation just means 5G is fifth generation. 6G is coming, and they'll have 7G. I mean, it's just the next generation of wireless technology.
Right now, I can say this. They rolled this out in Europe, and they're seeing right around the hot spots where the 5G is being rolled out, they're seeing women having stillbirth babies, infertility, sleepless nights, insomnia, all kinds of health issues linked to what we're seeing now, diseases, it's really bad news for our health. And so this key machine is really a blessing. This thing right here is a personal deal that I keep with me in my purse, but we've got a big one in our house so that no matter where we are in our house, we are protected with this technology, the science that helps our bodies not to be damaged by these damaging Wi-Fi rays that are just increasing. Once 5G hits us, I mean, you've got to have a safe place to go, and help your home to be one of those safe places so that when people come to visit you, they're going to want to come back for sure, because they're going to probably feel pretty good in your house.
Well, so, some of the reality is that some of the most important technologies, I think, that are coming, and we consider like the key technology to be, on the cutting edge. Some of the most important technologies will be the technology that protects us from the other technology. And so the cellular technology is amazing. I remember I used to work in Dallas as a director of tax for a local CPA firm there. This is back in early 2000s. We were the first CPA office in Texas to go wireless and to have virtual paperless, wireless, and have virtual employees all over the state of Texas using technology. But we were the first one to go paperless and wireless. And I remember we went wireless, and no one had ever gone wireless before in the CPA world. And I remember thinking, how's that going to work? I don't understand, because before with the internet, first of all, it was you plug your telephone line into the computer. Remember, and then you'd hear the
dial-up.
Yeah.
And so you plugged it in, and then they came up with the HDMI and the faster cabling, and you plugged that in, and you always plugged it in to get the signal. And then we all of a sudden got to where anyone in our office could work with the laptop anywhere because of these wireless signals. And I remember thinking to myself, how does that work? And never once did it cross my mind, I wonder if that's harmful for us, because we're exposed to those signals too.
Yeah.
As technology progresses, we'll be continually exposed to more and more of the wireless technology and those signals. So the technologies that are going to be valuable to us will be the ones that can protect us from the other technologies.
Right. So we're really grateful for this. And this is part of our 12 Days of Christmas. We have an advent calendar. I don't know. I think that we've got the Key Machine link. So check it out. If you haven't already seen that, you really need to check it out. Share this link with your family and friends. Anybody that you know will want to be protected and get their hands on at least the little guy. I would recommend the bigger one for your house. But we've also got a lot of other deals and specials that we have. Our books at a special low rate. And I think that we didn't get a chance to announce this. We started with Paul earlier than we anticipated, but every 10 minutes we wanted to give somebody a free book from Ty and Charlene. We want to sign it for you. So if we could, I think our team is going to help us to pick one person per 10 minutes.
Somebody's about to win a book, is what she's saying.
Yeah, somebody's going to win a book.
And Lena says, can you bring the key on the plane? Yes, you can. That's one of the things that it's good for, is just to take on a plane with you. And
so anyways, we're going to give somebody out there a free copy of Cancer Step Outside the Box. We're going to sign it. I think we're at the 10-minute mark. Well, we're almost at the 18-minute mark. So we'll probably pick two people to give that book to. So team, let us know who those people are, and we're going to send you a free book. Fun. Cancer Step Outside the Box. If you haven't read that, you really need to read that. That's a great book. It's probably the best resource out there on learning the science behind cancer, the political realm surrounding cancer, and the medical establishment in place. Just everything you want to know. It's the encyclopedia and magnum opus, special, right, on cancer and on health, really.
Yeah, it's a great book, and
we love it.
Yeah, so we're going to be giving away a free book here sometime soon. It looks like. Okay, all right, team, send us a winner. It reminds me.
How about me? Look at this.
All right.
Let's see.
Now, it reminds me of whenever we were our first live event in Dallas. We had a raffle on the stage, and And I remember we were drawing, it was like right after lunch or something, and we were drawing people's names that hadn't come back in yet. And so there's only about half of the people. And we're drawing and drawing and drawing. We couldn't get a winner because nobody was, that we were drawing their names was in the room yet.
LaDawn, love what you're doing. That was just highlighted. She's our first winner. I'm picking her.
Oh, Des gave us one too here.
Okay, so we've got two. LaDawn is going to be a winner. LaDawn, we love what you're doing too. We love it that you're supporting us. We're going to send you a free copy of Cancer Step Outside the Box. And
it looks like Des has already given us another two.
So that's three then. So I picked LaDawn, and then we've got Aaron and Margaret. So there's three winners. Des, if you can add to that, LaDawn. So we've got three winners so far. All three of you are going to get a free book, Cancer Step Outside the Box. We hope that you love it. And it'll be signed by us. So behind the scenes, we'll get your address so that we can send it.
Yeah, we need to get a mailing address, Des.
Yes.
All right, so Paul, continue the conversation about this key, because this is something that everyone needs in their home to have a safe place, right?
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of times I hear people say, well, I turn my router off at night, or I do this or I do that. And I say, well, that's great for you, but what about your neighbor's router? And on all sides of you, right? So a lot of people live in an area where they're overlapping and overlapping and overlapping of all these waves. So I would say there's no other way to protect yourself other than to protect your environment, clean your environment. And that is with a key technology, you know, being able to clean your environment, no matter what is inundated, no matter what is put into your area, you've already cleaned it out. So, I mean, we have so many stories on people that have been helped, and, you know, it's it's an amazing technology. And honestly, it works significantly. You know, there are other products on the market. We've researched them to show comparisons, and people that are watching you are asking for comparisons, right? Saying, hey, how is this different than something else? And the reality is, some of these products on the market had such little effect. They did have an effect, but they had such a little effect. For people that are electrosensitive or not are really being affected by these things, there's going to be very little effect. Whereas with Key, we've tested, you know, 2 to 4 times the normal amount in an environment, and it brought it down into the healthiest zone possible. And so, you know, I can really stand behind the technology because it works. It's not just a dog and pony show. You know, it's not just something saying it's going to work. And the fact that it uses natural law and no electricity, I mean, it can be put anywhere. I don't care if someone's in a tent or if someone's out, you know, in the middle of the woods, you know, or wherever. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're doing a off the grid, on the grid, if you're doing a tiny house, we have a solution for you. And that's the product category. We go from small to large, and we're able to help anyone wherever they need. So and I've seen with my own eyes, my wife and many others that have been helped. So,
hey, Paul, could you? There's a question from Joy. Could you briefly explain how it protects you from the Wi-Fi? So, could you explain again the way that the electrons on the skin, the radiation reacting with the electrons?
Absolutely. So, let's first understand that the reason radiation affects us negatively is because it goes into our body and reacts with the cells of our body and causes them to get hotter than they should be. And so they can't function appropriately. That in turn puts our body in a stressful situation. And so there's many different things in the brain that start to happen when we're under stress. And so it causes our whole system to react to this. And the reality is, it's constant, right? You always have these things going on. So your body is constantly in a reaction mode, and it stresses your adrenals out. It stresses your body out. There's so many different issues that happen. With Key Technologies, it is putting electrons into your environment. Within 24 hours of putting the Key technology in your home, 24 hours, your entire home will be filled with electrons. And so as you're walking around, as you're living in that environment, the electrons get on the surface of your skin everywhere on your body. And that helps you because instead of the radiation going into the body, it reacts on the outside of the body with those electrons that are on the surface of your skin, on your entire body. And because of that, there is none of the heating up of the cells. There's none of the body going into a stressful occurrence. Those that have adrenal issues are going to significantly know a difference. That's the way it helps people, is by giving you a protective layer on your body so that nothing penetrates you.
Nice.
Great
Nice.
explanation.
Yeah. I feel better about everything, don't you?
Feel better about life in general.
Yes. You do.
No, and it's a great explanation. It seems overly simplified, but that's the reality of why radiation does so much harm, is the fact that it does react with our cells. It heats the cells. It causes cellular damage. That is the inception of many diseases, including cancer, is cellular damage. Now, whether it's the cellular damage is a result of mitochondrial dysfunction, we can argue over it's the chicken or the egg category, but we know that cellular damage cellular damage is linked to cancer regardless. So if you can prevent cellular damage, then we know that we can minimize the exposure to certain diseases. We don't want to make disease claims, of course, but we know. I mean, there's all the evidence shows that even the conventional oncologists are going to tell you that cancer results from cellular damage, and the damage to the DNA. That's pretty much common knowledge. So if we can prevent the damage to the cells of the DNA, then maybe we can help that reverse.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, tell the wife we said hi, and
I will.
We'll probably see you real soon. By the way, for those of you out there that weren't at the gala, Paul was at the gala. He brought his family. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun to celebrate everything good we've gotten to do together since we met, right?
Absolutely. It was a beautiful event.
Yeah,
we enjoyed it.
Fun.
Well, thanks for joining us, brother. We appreciate it. Linda just asked, where do we get it? There's a link up there, Linda, where you can get the key. And then also you can go if the team would post the link
the Advent
the 12
page.
Days Advent page.
Let's get that up there for the people. So the key's on there. His frequency machine is also on there. So if we can get the Advent calendar link, so everybody on this webinar can check out the good deals we're having right now. Paul was able to really strike down those prices for us, for all of our friends. You're not going to find them lower than you will today. And when we've shared the webinar with the water, he's been kind enough to leave those prices at a really good price point. So if you've gotten your hands on the water machine, now's the time to do it. The key machine, now's the time to do it. I think it's at the link. Okay, so the Advent page, you'll find them. They're listed. There's little pictures. And we've got your sauna on the page too, right? Detox with the sauna. You'll find Ty, a picture of Ty, his head.
That's a fun picture too. Yeah, Paul produces, manufactures the Synergy sauna, which we have in our home as well.
Yeah, we've got two of them. Right?
We got a couple of Synergies. I sit in it every night, and I was just in it last night, sweating.
So now y'all know what Ty looks like. Go to the product page.
It's a goofy picture.
If for nothing else, to see Ty inside that sauna.
It's a picture of my head sticking out of the sauna. One of the things that we like about the personal Synergy saunas that Paul manufactures is not just the fact that they have ozone, not just the fact that they have very, very low EMF, not just the fact that they heat up in 5 minutes where the other ones take a long time, but your head's out. So, you zip it up around your neck and your head's exposed to the normal heated air in the room. But it's not
I have
super
to say,
hot.
and the neck area, when we first got it, when they first came out, it was like, you get sweaty. And after Ty got in, I said, honey, I cannot get in after you sweat. Paul was awesome. He created a piece that you can unzip and wash it and then have a clean sauna, because it doesn't touch you other than in your neck. And of course, Ty adds, after that, he's like, okay, honey, I'm going to wear a towel. So he puts a towel, double protection. But I love it that you can unzip that, wash it, and everything. Ozone being in there, because other saunas, they have suns but no ozone. So, and even where you put the electricity is as far away from the body as possible. So it's so well thought out design, and the price point really couldn't be better. We've seen saunas at really high price points. So it's just
the Synergy
a win.
sauna is awesome. Yeah, look, most people spend. I was just reading an article yesterday. The average child now spends 9 hours a day on their devices.
Oh my goodness.
9 hours a day. That's the
That's
average.
crazy.
The average adult isn't too far behind, to be honest with you. It's upwards of 5 hours now.
We're working on our computers, right?
Yeah, but we're working, but you got time where you're doing, where you're on a device. I mean, and here's the cool thing: if you have to be on your devices, if you've got to be answering text or whatever, there's zippers on each side that Paul's incorporated, so you can put your hands out.
That's ridiculous.
And you can hold your thing, so you have to. So what I'm trying to say
never
is,
take a break from your device. You can take it. Don't worry, you won't be without.
What I'm trying to do is to remove your excuses for not doing it, because everybody makes up an excuse why they're not healthy, right?
That's
I couldn't
right.
myself. I had to eat the junk. I didn't have time to lay in the sauna. I had to answer my emails. Now that's gone.
Is he trying to tell me to get my computer down there? Okay, I'm going to get my laptop.
Now you don't have an excuse for not sitting in the sauna. And if you want to just sit there, I don't use my device like most people do. I'm never on it, but I do watch television.
Don't let him.
I do watch. So at night, I'll put on a football game or a basketball game or whatever, and where I would have just sat in the lounge chair to relax, now I sit in the sauna and watch it then. Which in what sport?
Football.
The Steelers are my favorite football team. Basketball, the Spurs.
Yeah.
Baseball, the Pirates and the Rangers.
And the Penguins.
Hockey, no, the Predators.
Penguins.
Go Preds.
Penguins.
But I'm not saying you need to be on your device all the time, but that's not an excuse anymore. You can do that. I just like to sit in the sauna and relax and watch TV, watch Andy Griffith. I was watching Andy Griffith last night with Charity. So I like to sit in the sauna and just watch a television show or watch the news or whatever. So, Paul's thought this thing out. So don't let that be an excuse that you don't have 45 minutes. You can still be productive during those 45 minutes if you need to. But you need to you've got to detox. Today we live in a world full of toxins. So many toxins that get locked in our bodies. And one of the only ways, specifically with heavy metals, to get heavy metals out, besides chelating with cilantro or EDTA or something like that, is to sweat them out. And the infrared sauna is really good at pulling that out. So when you get out of the sauna, we try to go straight to the shower, take the towel and pat that sweat off because there are toxins in that sweat. And of course, wash the towel. But go to the shower and try to take a shower before the sweat reabsorbs into your system to keep the toxins outside and not back inside. Yeah, and I think it's appropriate that we're talking about a sauna now because it's wintertime now. It's not, I don't think it's officially winter yet, but it's almost officially winter. It feels like winter. It feels like winter here in Nashville, but it's cold. People aren't sweating during the winter much. During the summer, sometimes you can't help it. When we went to Asia this summer, I sweated constantly outside. I think Thailand is so hot and humid, it's crazy. So, you're always sweating during the summer, and most, in climates that aren't, Antarctica or the North Pole, you're going to be sweating some. But in the wintertime, people aren't sweating as much, especially where you're at, Paul, Utah area. You got a lot, but it's not hot enough to sweat. We need to get sweating today. So this is an investment in your health to get one of these synergy saunas. We really love it, and we stand by it. Yes, and we've got a question or a comment. It says, Aaron, I was just wondering about your sauna for sale. Noticed that the head sticks out of the sauna. Would this be good for people with rosacea? I can't. Since heat aggravates the condition. Yeah, I can't see something. Does the face also heat up? Yeah, I think Aaron must have asked this before. Charlene, you mentioned in the last webinar about organic makeup. What product line do you recommend? Okay, so go ahead and hit the sauna. Well, I think she asked that before. We've already answered that question. Yeah, your face doesn't because it's out. Right. Would it be okay with people with rosacea? We can't speak on that on a specific condition if it's okay or not. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. But with the makeup line, well, I know Suzanne Summers. I use some of her products. In fact, one of my favorite products she has, and I mean, I'm not affiliated with her at all. She did send us some products and we interviewed her, but she's got some nice creams. They feel good on your face, and some cleansers. I love this. I can't remember. It's like a exfoliation. It just feels so good. It smells so good. There's something about that good, fresh smell. It's all organic. I just recommend basically get as many organic products as you can get. Check read your labels, free from parabens and other things that cause hormone disruption and can lead to all kinds of
issues, hormonal and even cancer. So I just recommend organic. I know there are stores like Whole Foods, they have cosmetic centers. So, and there's some online stores that you can buy for like $1, just sample sized, whether it's a foundation or a powder. I like Earth's Beauty. They've got a nice translucent powder. So that's really nice. I have a lip balm that I love to use. I'm so addicted to it. I need to get the names of these and put them together for people. But the lip balm is like a beeswax kind of foundation, but it also has frankincense and myrrh in it. It's so healing. So if you get chapped lips, I just put a little bit of that on. I use it every day. I can go on and on about makeup. I mean, get organic makeup, and some is better than others. But Earth's Beauty is just one brand that I'm thinking of, and I just need to take pictures of my makeup at home. Organic. I like to get especially organic lotions because that's a foundation, and organic foundations and things because that's on your skin. Lipstick you want to be careful of because base of a lot of the lipstick is lead. So try to find an organic base lipstick as well.
I don't know about you, Paul, but I've forgotten what makeup and foundation and lip balm I'm wearing. I can't think of the brand.
Actually, I give him argan oil. His beautiful face. See his beautiful face here. I've been using argan oil, so he started using it, and his skin even looks more beautiful. So I'm taking care of his skin. He does oil every now and again too. So
I rotate. I do coconut oil and argan oil. Those are the two oils. Yeah, that's good. It's got to keep moisturized. Here's a question by Maravik Sevilla. How much additional water do you need to drink when you go in the sauna? That's a great question because, I guess it kind of depends on how much you sweat in the sauna and how long you stay. But, I sit in at least 45 minutes, and by the time I get out of the sauna, I'm dripping, just drenched with sweat. So I'll drink a big, 32-ounce glass of water as soon as I'm out to replenish. You definitely need to drink plenty of water when you get out.
Yeah, just drink as much as you can drink, really.
What are you going to say, Paul?
Well, I was just going to say that if people want to sweat, they have to drink water. So if they're not hydrated, the body won't release liquids as much. So they do need to be very careful and drink a good amount of water before going into the sauna so they are properly hydrated and so the body will release sweat easily. So that is really, really important. Another thing some people do is they'll do what's called a salt brushing, where they take a feather or they take some sort of a easy brush that they can brush on salt onto their skin. That also draws out moisture and some toxins and things, and that's very effective. So there's a number of things people do with saunas to increase their sweating, but one of the most important is to drink a good amount of water half an hour before you go in the sauna so you are properly hydrated.
So Tamara asks, with the infrared sauna, can you put like a pot of water in it to promote more sweat? So I think she's asking, should you put a pan of water inside the sauna?
No, she's asking.
That's kind of like what you do with the
sauna.
big,
That's like we think of the Russian
steam
sauna
room
that has the rocks that you pour the water on the rocks.
Yeah, no, not
this is totally different. It creates heat in a totally different manner than those saunas. So.
Yeah, this is called a dry sauna, not a steam sauna. So yeah.
And if we could pick another person to win another book, we're going to give away another book. This time, let's give away. You want to give away Monumental Myth?
Sure, we can give a copy of Monumental Myths to somebody.
And Monumental Myths was born out of a lot of research. Ty and I, from the time we were losing our family members, and we wrote the first book, Cancer Step Outside the Box, we were finding so many layers of truths buried under layers of lies that we thought, wow, these are things that we want everybody to know about. And we found out that a lot of people are really resistant to learning the truth because sometimes that truth is really uncomfortable. So that's when Monumental Myths book was born. We had talked about doing a second edition, adding to that because there's a lot more we could add to that. But we've been busy with the docuseries and everything else, but it's a great book. Again, go to our Advent calendar page. You'll see that book and so much more. If you can get some of those things as gifts to help your family to wake up. I know some of the hardest people for us to help have been family members and close friends. Monumental Myths is a great coffee table book.
Allison is our winner. Allison of Monumental Myths. Awesome. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, Allison. It's a lot of the conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. All right, very good. So maybe we'll give away one more copy of mine in less than 10 minutes. You think? Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right.
All right. So, well, Paul, thanks for joining us, man. Let's
Okay,
see.
we have Alice. I
Alice.
purchased both Cancer Step Outside the Box and Truth About Cancer this year. They have been integral in saving my life. Thank you so much for all you have done. What a blessing, Alice. Thank you for letting us know that. And what a blessing. You are the reason we do what we do, Alice. You know, we lost a lot of our family members to conventional cancer treatments, really. And we didn't know that there were other options outside of the big three: chemo, radiation, and surgery. And we knew that we had to save lives. We knew that the madness had to stop. And so we did work really hard to bring that book and this information to you. And that's what we do every day. We have a whole team helping us and now people all over the world. Alice, that's really a blessing to know. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope, pray that you have a long and happy, healthy life, and that you just, you know, loan those books out to your friends and family. You're a living testimony. In fact, Alice, I'd love it if you could private message, you know, message the team. If Des or somebody can reach out to Alice, I'd love to correspond with you, Alice, and find out more about what you did and maybe highlight your testimony somewhere on our website. So that other people can be encouraged by you if you're willing to share that, Alice. Thank you so much.
All right.
Paul, thanks for joining us, man. We'll let you run. We kept you a little bit longer than what we'd anticipated, but we'll let you get back to the beautiful snow there. You got snow today?
Yeah, well, yesterday, not today. It won't snow again till the 22nd. We've only had 3. I was hoping for more, but hey, I love hanging out with you guys. I love you both so much. You're such a part of our family and everything. I'm grateful for all you do to bless the lives of millions of people, and just huge hugs and love to you.
We love you, Paul.
Thanks, brother.
Bye.
God bless, Paul.
Bye.
All right.
Now we have Marianne asking, can order your book from you, Cancer Step Outside the Box. Well, Marianne, on the top of the chat board is a link to our Advent calendar page. We've been running a Christmas special. I was just, before Paul got on, telling all of you about that special. And so from December 1st through the 12th, and we're extending it now, we have offered some of our products at very discounted prices. The Cancer Step Outside the Box book was the very first book. It's in its 6th edition, and it's really the best book out there on this topic. And you can get it at a really good price right now. I think it's only $20, and it's normally over $30. And so, yeah, it's available right there on our Advent calendar page. So check it out. Everyone get on the page, check out the different deals. We've got Paul's Echo water machine with frequency and molecular hydrogen infused in there. We've got the key, the Wi-Fi, the little guy here, and the bigger ones. We've got that sauna we were talking about. We've got Monumental Mist. You have to step outside the box. We've got Living Fuel, which is fantastic. We pretty much take Living Fuel every day. And we have just other things. So check it out. We've got a question. Margaret, I know several people who have been told by medical professionals that they should not eat blueberries or any other antioxidants while on chemotherapy. Any thoughts? And I would totally disagree with that. Ty, what would you say?
Well, the medical literature is exactly opposite of that. Unfortunately, a lot of the oncologists have been mistrained, and they've been fed lies to tell the patients not to take antioxidants with chemotherapy because it will interfere with the effects of the chemotherapy. But the real research is showing now that antioxidants actually will help protect your body from the damaging effects of the chemotherapy. So it'll actually make chemotherapy less toxic to you if you do take it with antioxidants. So it's kind of a old wives' tale that a lot of oncologists will still share with their patients. Don't take blueberries, don't eat antioxidants while you're on chemo. But the reality is it's exactly the opposite. If you are on chemo, you need something to help with your immune system. You need antioxidants, and that's what the literature is saying now. So
yeah, and the reality is that the oncologists, it's not that they're bad people. They just really don't know. They're told something, they're taught something, and this is what they just believe, and so they repeat it and tell you, and the science says otherwise. We know, we've had people that we've highlighted in our documentary. There was a little girl, I think her name's Janae, up in Alaska. She was forced into chemotherapy. The parents did not want to do it, but they forced her. And so while she was undergoing chemotherapy, the parents gave her living fuel to give her the nutrition and the antioxidants and everything else that the child needed more during that time than ever in the child's life. They needed nutrition. And she did something called Life One, which is a great supplement with cancer killing properties in it. And they had to do it in secret, and because the doctors, if they would have known, they could have gotten in trouble, which you think about that's kind of crazy. But the child did so well, and all of the other children in this area of the hospital receiving chemotherapy were just wilting like little sweet flowers, losing their life, and that child was thriving. So we've seen time and again how feeding and nourishing the body during these conventional cancer treatments really benefit the patient greatly. That's Margaret. Oh, a new one. Carolyn Naaman, are all the alternative therapies mentioned in your previous episodes and future ones good for childhood cancer as well?
Yeah, Carolyn, that's a good question. Yeah, we really can't recommend any treatments for any specific kinds of cancers. And the treatments that we do recommend aren't cancer treatments per se, but they're treatments that help to strengthen the immune system. So let's just say that children need healthy, strong immune systems and immune support just like adults do. So you have to read between the lines, but we can't discuss any specific treatments or recommend any specific treatments for childhood cancer or adult cancer. We just interview experts that are using treatments that helps to strengthen the immune system, to balance the immune system, and to give the body the fuel that it needs.
Well said. Thank you. Betty, that's the name of my mother, says, tomorrow will be 3 years of my stage 4 lung cancer. Your documentaries have been valuable to me. That's so good, Betty. I hope that you're feeling well. It's such a blessing. You know, who are these doctors to say you're at this stage, you're at the end? It's been 3 years for you, and I hope to hear from you very soon where it's maybe gone. The cancer is gone. Thank you, Betty. We're really glad to know that our work has benefited you greatly. Nancy, is it distilled water okay to drink?
Yeah, good question, Nancy. Distilled water is better to drink than Coca-Cola or soda, but there's a lot of disagreement in the industry over whether you should drink distilled water or spring water or filtered water or whatever it is. Distilled water has had a lot of the most if not all the minerals removed, so it's kind of it's clean water, but it's kind of dead water when it comes to that because there's not minerals in it. That's why a lot of times people that drink only distilled water, they have to add back minerals, you know, potassium and salt and so forth, sodium. So it's better to drink than if you had nothing else to drink other than Coca-Cola and sweet tea.
Echo water, would be my choice. That's what we have.
But that's a better choice. But you know, it just depends on what you're comparing it to. Yeah, if that's all you have access to. But I do have concerns over drinking distilled water all the time from a lack of minerals. But like I said, better than sitting around drinking sodas all day.
Right. Well, the Batman cured many people with dirty water, right, in prison.
Yeah, Dr. Batman did, and it wasn't clean water by any means. So definitely need to hydrate, and so it depends on what kind of water you have available. But at least that's better than not hydrating at all. But it is key. And one of the things that Paul said that was really true is that if you don't drink enough water, you're not going to sweat much in the sauna. So I think that's one of the reasons I sweat so much is I drink probably 3/4 of a gallon to a gallon of water a day. So I have lots of water to sweat out. And so it's good. It's just good to help clear out your system and detoxify.
Yeah, water cleanses the inside of your body, your blood, and it helps you to detoxify and release toxins.
Yeah. Mary says, have you heard of oncologic viral therapy? The trials are proving to be positive. Yeah, Mary, we covered that in Global Quest in Riga, Latvia. It was a treatment called Rigvir. That's oncolytic viral therapy that works really well. Unfortunately, there's also oncolytic viruses that the FDA is working with now that don't work quite as well. So it really depends upon what treatment you're talking about. I know they've got a viral therapy that they have approved now called Imligic, and Imligic is different than the Rigvir, because Rigvir is so effective because it's selectively toxic to cancer cells, and it also is non-GMO, and it's not genetically modified, right? So they do genetically modified viruses as well. The Imligic that's been approved by the FDA is actually a genetically modified virus, and it's not selectively toxic. So it goes in and kills your normal cells as well. So depends upon what kind of what viral therapy we're talking about. But yeah, we're very familiar with the viral therapy. It's probably an up and coming area within cancer research. We'll find more and more viruses that are effective at combating cancer.
Good answer, hon. I hope everybody on this webinar is joining our Advent calendar page and checking those out and seeing Ty in the sauna with his head sticking out. I think that's one of the most funny pictures. There's also a picture of you jumping on, I think in our detox program, jumping on the
trampoline. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We should put Charity on there. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's a lot cuter than I am.
She is cute. Well, you're cute.
That's one of the things that you can do, though, is to detox as well. Is not just sit in the sauna, but the rebounder.
Yeah, rebounder.
You know, we haven't talked about that much.
Yeah, rebounder is fantastic. It's your lymphatic system needs you to move for it to move. We've got in our circulatory system, our blood, we've got our heart pumping that fluid, the blood around our body. Lymphatic system, you need to move, and there's no better movement for the system than rebounding, jumping up and down. You don't have a rebounder, but do have a trampoline, get on it, jump, jump, jump.
Yeah, great exercise. And you can also, I do that at the same time. Right before I sit in the sauna, I usually rebound for about 10 minutes. You can watch TV, listen to music, whatever. I mean, you can multitask. I know we're in a generation now that feels like we always have to be multitasking. So you can accomplish a lot of things while you're on the trampoline as well. You can be on a phone call with your headset if you want while you're jumping, but get that movement in to pump the lymph and be sure that you sit in your sauna.
I don't know if I want to talk while I'm jumping on the phone.
No,
I probably sound funny.
That wouldn't be your choice, though. Yeah. But I do that a lot.
You talk on the phone while you're jumping?
I just mute my microphone while I'm jumping.
Okay.
Most conference calls, I'm not talking much anyway. I'm just listening. So
you're jumping during our conference calls? I thought you were working on the documentary.
No, it's what?
On our conference calls?
On the call this morning, why I didn't talk much? No, it's just quiet. But
no, I mean, I thought you were busy working on the computer. You're jumping. I never do that. That's new. See, I'm still learning stuff. He's jumping. So Scott back there and Des, when we're on our calls, he's jumping.
Well, I've got either that or I've got the dumbbells out and I'm doing dumbbell work while I'm on the calls. But
I this whole time thought you were working on your computer. Wow. Okay. Maybe I should come and join and work out while we get on calls together.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I don't do it on every conference call, but occasionally I'll do that.
All right. Okay. So you know what, Des, if you could, Ray, let's pick out another winner. This winner is going to get Monumental Miss too. Earlier, we were talking about Monumental Miss. The things that we are told are conspiracy theories are facts. We've done the research. The good thing about that book is that, and it's on if you haven't seen it, check out the Advent calendar, check it out. But if you haven't seen the Monumental Miss book, it covers, we cover different topics, but we give you the facts, the government papers, the declassified information. We don't ever, with anything we do, just talk about stuff because we've heard it and we think it's this way. No, we give you the facts, and then you can figure out, okay, what's the truth behind this, right?
Yep. Yeah. So Joy, you're going to enjoy it. Looks like we got Joy is the winner of Monumental Myths. So
congratulations, Joy. Yay.
Enjoy.
You've got a signed copy of Monumental Myths coming your way. I think you're going to love it. When you all get the book, you got to tell us how you like it, what your favorite section was. So it's a pretty interesting book. One of my favorite parts, honey, Planned Parenthood. Wow. That was an eye-opener. When you find out who started it and why and the agenda behind it, wow. Okay. So the Margaret Sanger, let me just give you a spoiler alert here. Margaret Sanger was the founder, and she was a Satan worshiper, if that tells you anything. I mean, priorities, right? And her agenda was not to help women, for sure.
Well, Margaret Sanger actually received funding from the Rockefeller Foundation to start Planned Parenthood. Mm-hmm. And she was an extremely evil woman and a racist. She didn't like black people or
Mm-hmm.
Jews or Hispanics. And
She
so
said they were little weeds
her
to be
goal
pulled.
was to eliminate the what she called the inferior races. She wanted to get rid of the minorities. And
Yeah.
so that was one of the goals of Planned Parenthood, was to get rid of people that weren't white, Anglo-Saxons. So
And she said
it's an interesting section of the book.
Yeah, it's horrifying actually. She called black people weeds that needed to be pulled from the earth. And if you look at where those Planned Parenthood clinics are located, most of them are located in minority neighborhoods. There was an agenda there, and it's really, really sad. People need to wake up and see what's really going on.
Yeah, I think it's over 70% of Planned Parenthoods are located in impoverished areas, what we would think of as kind of like the ghetto areas.
Mm.
That's where they're located. So it's one of there's 33 chapters in Monumental Myths,
GMOs,
and
right?
each chapter will cover
Something
an official
controversial.
story that's controversial that we'll kind of share the truth on.
We
So
cover
it's a good read.
Robert Kennedy, President Kennedy.
JFK.
Or JFK, yeah, Robert's the friend of ours, but yeah, JFK, John Kennedy, President Kennedy, and then also Kennedy Jr., right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a chapter on JFK Jr., the plane crash that killed him back in the late 90s. Pretty interesting anomalies about that.
Yeah, data that we uncovered was shocking.
Yeah.
How about there was no bad weather?
I'll let them read it.
Okay, you read it and tell us what you think. But we just did the research. We'll let you come up with the conclusions that you want to come up with.
Linda says, will we be able to watch the replay? I'm not sure.
The replay of this webinar. And yes, you will.
Oh, yeah, the webinar. Okay.
Yes, you can watch the replay of this webinar. It will be available to you. You have the link, so you can come back at any time and watch it and maybe share it with your friends. I think Gia behind the scenes, and perhaps Karen, they'll even repost it on our Facebook, so you can share it with your friends and watch it. If you share it on your own Facebook, you could refer back to it there. So,
are you guys vegan? Brianna says, are you guys vegan?
Is this our daughter, Heidi?
No,
honey?
our daughter has two N's, remember? And her name is
She's
Brianna
misspelled her name.
She's trying to.
Our daughter's name's Brianna.
She's camouflaging her identity.
Yes.
No,
we
we're
are not
vegan.
vegans. We are not. We love vegan food, though.
We did have a huge vegan meal at our event.
If you're vegan, Brianna, you would have loved to have been at our house this past Friday. All of the food we had was from a really trendy local Nashville restaurant. It was GMO-free, organic, and vegan. We had mock crab cakes. Oh my goodness! And our team back there, you know what I'm talking about. It came with a little bit of cabbage on the side and that special sauce. I think when we go home, we're gonna have some more. We have some leftovers, and they are good.
Oh, I ate the rest.
You did not eat all the rest.
I did.
There's too many for you to eat.
There was only like 72 crab cakes left.
Yeah, we're going to freeze some of those because I love them. I don't want to waste any of those crab cakes.
All right, final winner of Monumental Myths, JB. All right.
JB, maybe if it's
JB.
John B. Wells.
Janet.
Oh, Janet.
Janet. So,
all right, Janet, congratulations.
Awesome.
I think you're going to love the book. Let us know what you think. It's an awesome book. I think so. Mind-blowing, actually. The topics.
It's interesting. It'll be an interesting read, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was a very fun book to write because it's just for me, writing Monumental Myths was cathartic because it was just all of these different conspiracies that people started asking us about, rather than just sit and have to explain the truth about all these things for hours on end. I was just like, I'm just going to write about it. And now we can say, read the book. So when I was writing Monumental Myths, it was really cathartic to just be able to get into these different issues. And you'll notice that I was very sarcastic in the book. And
I love that.
You'll see that a lot of sarcasm went into it.
The opening, what part was that? The disclaimer? That's hysterical.
I can't even remember.
Be sure to read. Janet, read the disclaimer. It will crack you up. It's so funny. Ty is so funny. It's
a funny book. It actually, the topics are really, they're very serious topics, and they're topics that have influenced our lives every day. Mm-hmm. But writing the book, I thought I've just got to make fun of some of this stuff because it's so ridiculous.
It is. It's
that I
crazy.
Just thought, writing with kind of a sarcastic tone of voice is the way I wrote it.
Yeah.
That was,
honey, I think
it was cathartic.
At the time we were under such attack by people that didn't spend even 1 minute in any serious research. And here we were for years. and countless hours, thousands and thousands of hours. We've researched, we've read, we've watched documentaries, we've watched video interviews of people that have experienced things that are unbelievable. Government papers, declassified information that just will blow your mind as you go through all this stuff. And then to talk to someone that really doesn't have an understanding of this topic, at least educated wise, they have not seriously looked at any data or information. They just parrot what they've heard. So we're dealing with a lot of parrots that are very critical and criticizing, and they're mad. Those people are really mad. So at that time, it was very therapeutic, I think, for Ty to write in that sarcastic way, because it is absurd that anybody even believes anything other than these truths that are really simple to see when you just spend a little tiny time looking at it.
Yeah, I kind of had to draw it back in on a few comments that didn't end up making in the book because they were a little bit over the top.
He has a tendency to go over the top.
But it is a fun book to read, believe it or not. And is of all the different books that I've written, that's the one that people say I couldn't put it down, because it's just, I think that people are pretty smart, and when you give them the facts about things and just say, look, make up your own mind. Was this actually physically possible, or were there, little magical fairies that overrode the laws of physics on a certain day and allowed this to happen, when we know physically it's not possible?
Talking about 9/11, honey.
Talking about 9/11, but
He's
we're not getting into 9/11 today.
Yeah, that's in there. Yeah, it's in there.
We're not going to talk about it. Somebody just remarked that they like it when, or they were laughing at us getting a husband and wife leftover war. So on the crab cake. So that's funny. So yeah. No, there's no war on the leftovers. There's plenty for both of us.
Yes, so. Absolutely. I have to say, when there's only one of something left, he always gives it to me. He's such a sweet guy. He's always, and the kids too. It's like that scene in Cinderella Man, when they're all starving nearly. They're so hungry and they have no money and they have very little bit of food. And the dad, it just breaks my heart. That dad has a piece of meat. He's really hungry, but the little girl, she's already eaten hers, or one of the children. And the dad talks about this dream he had about the steak, and he's so full he can't eat it. And then he gives it to her, and she eats it. And the wife is like, "Oh, honey," and I could just totally relate to that, because that would totally be Ty. But with that, I think we're out of time. I hope that you all have enjoyed this little special hour. We hope that you have special time that you spend with your family and your friends over the holiday season, reflecting on what matters most. And for us, that's the fact that the very God of the universe came. He left heaven so that he could be born in a stable, so that he could live the perfect life and give that reward to you, and in the place take away all of the penalty that you earned, that I earned. And we now have a pathway back to heaven. That's what we celebrate in Jesus. So Merry Christmas.
We'll see Mom and Dad again. That's what we celebrate. At Christmas time, we have that to look forward to. So
we do.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on this webinar. We look forward to the next one and hanging out with you again. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes. God bless.